Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin.
Look, I'm recording.
Yay. All right. We already started, right?
Yeah, we're started. It's happening. No Kyle.
No Kyle.
No Kyle. It's so late.
It's Saturday night. We both have had 2 shows and we're trying to find a time to do this tomorrow. It's 10 to 1 in the morning, my time.
Oh my God. It's 10 to 11 in my time. So I'm the early, I should have all the energy.
We couldn't find a good time tomorrow. So it was like, are you awake? All right, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it now. Like,
Kyle's out partying or doing whatever Kyle does.
He's out kyling.
He's kyling. He's kyling like he kyles. I'm using your notebook finally that you gave me.
Oh my God, the Harry Potter notebook.
Gryffindor notebook. Yeah, super fun.
Is that your comedy notebook?
It's now my comedy notebook.
Awesome. I love it.
Yep. And I did Comedy Fort, the Comedy Fort.
Yeah.
In Fort Collins. Did you know that Fort Collins was what Walt Disney based downtown Disney as? The main street in Disneyland?
Oh.
Weird.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mentioned it because I just happened to see it on Wikipedia when I was looking up things to do in Fort Collins. And I said it to the audience, and the audience was like, yeah, we know.
Wow.
So weird, right?
It's super cute. So yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've only been to Fort Collins once, but I was like, oh, I could easily live here. I get it.
David was like, I gotta get her back on the books. And I said, yeah, you do.
Yeah, get me back on the books, Rodriguez.
That's it. Sumuk came out. You remember him, Tolgulker?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, wait. He moved there, right?
Yeah. He's living in the woods doing
Right.
He told me he's doing corporates and he's making almost his nut on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. He mentioned that. What's his YouTube channel about?
His YouTube channel is like how to do things. And now he's doing sort of shorter reels like people do, like the YouTube shorts. But the stuff where it was he just made a YouTube video that went viral about how to change your windshield wipers.
I love it. Oh my God.
But he's super charming, right? And so I did 2 shows last night, 2 shows tonight. First show tonight was epic. It was so good.
Really?
I had a good time. And they film here, so I'm gonna get the video.
Nice.
And the second show was a lot of crowd work, so I'm looking forward to that. It was weird. Not on purpose, not because I don't go there. You know, it's essentially I mention I'm from Wisconsin, and then people shout things, and then we sometimes it leads to conversations about where they're from or why they shouted, because sometimes people shout and they're not from Wisconsin, they're just being supportive.
Yeah, they want in on it, they're excited.
Right, or they're Packer fans and they think, I don't know why they would think, but they think that I care, and I just want everyone to win, which is statistically impossible.
Correct.
This was in my room. I don't know if it's free, but I'm gonna drink it.
So you're in a hotel room. Can you talk about the saga?
Well, it's just the thing is there's a condo. There's a condo, and it's not a bad condo. It's just it's very much on me, and David was incredibly nice about it, and we moved me to a hotel today. And it's only 2 nights, the gig. And so I'm spending 1 night in this hotel. And here's the saga. And it's, I never want to rock the boat just because we were raised not to rock the boat.
Right.
And, but my boat was rocked before I even came here because I decided to get both of my pieces of luggage fixed last week.
Fancy, right?
Well, it's fancy luggage because I went and I spent a lot of money on luggage, and it has a lifetime guarantee. And so one of the zippers, there's zipper issues, there's whatever. So I have a loaner piece of luggage.
Oh, right. Okay.
And everything that is different when you're on the road 35, 40 weeks a year is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Every tiny thing that you're like, I don't know how to do this. And you forget because there's things that you get used to and there's things that you need. And that is definitely where I'm at. And I'm very lucky that I get to, that things are usually standardized. So what
Yeah.
I have is I have one big piece of roller luggage, and then I have like a duffel bag that I brought all my merch and
Oh, duffel bag. No good. No
no,
wheels.
no
Merch on
wheels.
the back.
And so then I have a backpack, and then
No.
I go to the airport, and so we're driving, and then the condo is it's just one flight of stairs, and we drop all my merch at the club, and I carry my bag up and stuff. And so, but I'm already twitchy about everything because my luggage is off. My luggage. and
I understand.
and then um and then there was trouble with the Wi-Fi, and there was trouble with with what and so but tomorrow is the real challenge. So it all worked out, but in the end, right? But I am slightly driven mad by, quite honestly, any problem that came up in the last day and a half just exacerbated my impatience. And impatience is one of the things that it's not one of my best traits. I do not have a great deal of patience. And so if I get impatient, I'm just like, well, fuck it. I'm going to run into traffic. I don't know I lose my shit. And little
Mhm.
things can do it. And tonight I went to dinner with an old friend of mine, and we had to sit at the bar, and there were high stools that didn't have a back on them, Laurie. And when you say it out loud, you know that you're a complete hot
No,
ass whore.
Jackie, you've been dragging a duffel bag full of challenge coins all over the country and a fucking backpack full of shirts. So your back hurts. You want a fucking back.
Yeah, I just need it back to the damn thing. So anyway, so that's where it all and so I was grumpy, and then I laid down as I walked from the restaurant to the hotel, to the club tonight. I laid down on Fort Collins. They have benches for the buses, but they're nice
Oh,
benches. They're buses that they're benches that people who have to live on the street might take a good nap in. So I
yeah.
had a nice lie down on one of those and did a live TikTok for 4 minutes. Um,
That solves a lot of problems.
it actually, I did. It solved that problem, and then I made it to the club, and it was fine. And yeah, and
Do
everybody
you have
that
another show? Oh, good.
uh, and right, and so the big thing is tomorrow is I have this other show in Boulder. Did you do Boulder?
Oh, it's Boulder. No, I didn't. No.
The deal with Boulder is that Boulder, the Denver airport, and Fort Collins are all essentially an hour from each other. And my
Mhm.
hotel is at the Denver airport. And I have to check out of
Okay.
this hotel at noon. And the Boulder gig starts at 7. So conceivably I could get a ride to Boulder and then have to be in Boulder for 7 hours, do a show, and then get a ride to the airport hotel afterward and check in. And
Oy.
so what I've done is I have talked to local comics, and I have promised to fill a gas tank and take people to lunch. So what's going to happen is I'm going to leave here at noon. We're going to go to lunch. I'm going to borrow one of their cars. I'm going to drive to the Denver airport, check into my hotel, drive back to Fort Collins, and then the other comic, I'm going to Sam Sisson. I don't know if you know her. She's going to do a guest set at Boulder, and so she's going to drive me to Boulder. And then,
Cool.
yeah, she's going to do a guestie.
So you're not hanging around Boulder with all your stuff.
No, I'll just have my merch. And I'm actually thinking of not bringing the merch and just sort of abandoning all of it. But I could make a couple $100. So I don't know.
God. Jesus.
So many decisions, Laurie. I
Well,
can't
that's so much
face it.
money. Even on a Sunday, that's extra money. That's good.
I know. And but the good news is I've got a couple of comics, and we're gonna get to I'm a social animal. So I like to go out to lunch with people. And so we're
Yeah.
going to go to
Yeah.
lunch, and then I'm going to go to the airport hotel, and then I'm going to come back here, and then we're going to go to Boulder, or we're going to sit around for a couple hours and then go to Boulder. And then I'm flying back Monday morning super early because I'm doing pickups for an animated show that I read for. And
Oh, neat.
yeah. So it's a little acting thing that's fun.
Cool.
Matter of fact, I should print those sides while I'm in a hotel.
Yes.
God. How about you? How was the den?
Oh, been waiting for you to ask.
Oh,
No, the Den was great. 2 shows tonight, and they were not sold out. I know, Ron Funches is selling out. Other comics are selling out. TikTokers are selling out. But we did have a lot of Jackie and Laurie fans, listeners.
Oh, that's neat.
In the crowd, which is
Yay.
cool. So this podcast is working after 6 years, finally working. And people brought friends and stuff. So it was fun. It was fun. And the hotel, I'm at the Chicago Athletic Association, which doesn't sound like a hotel. But it's like a building that's over 100 years old. It's really cool.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know what it was. I haven't done a big dive into the history of it, but it's like all old dark wood.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah. So cool. Everyone's getting married here. I keep seeing brides and grooms all over the place. So you have to allow 10 minutes to get the elevator because there's only 2. There's a rooftop bar that's really popular. So it's constant people here all the time. But other than that, it's fine. And
Right.
So the shows were fun. Skylar Higley, who was also a Conan writer, and he was a new face this year at Montreal, was opening, and he was great.
Oh, cool.
It was really good to see him. And so and tonight on the way back, I left my phone in the lift.
Oh, no.
Thank God I had taken out my driver's license and credit cards. I have them in a little pocket,
Yeah.
put that in. But because I'm selling books afterwards and people are signing the phone for credit card purchases,
Yep.
I realized a couple gigs ago, like I'm handing people my driver's license and all my,
all of your information. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? So I took it all out. So thankfully I had it in my purse. And so I was like, well, if I lose a phone, it is an old phone. It won't be the worst thing in the world, but it will be a pain in the ass and an extra expense. And
Yeah.
so the guy brought it back. Luckily, I was feeling very gregarious. And so I told him I was a comic on our
Okay.
drive, and he's from Turkey. And I'm like, I used to live in Turkey when I was a baby. So we had a really good conversation.
Oh, that's cool.
And I got to my hotel room and I realized it was gone. And I'm on my iPad and I put on Find My iPhone, and it's driving all over Chicago. I'm like, oh no, please don't go to Wisconsin. Please stay here. And so I was able to text him, and he dropped it off. I didn't see him again. I missed it. He just dropped it off at the hotel. But I tipped him. I was trying to find him, and I was like, I couldn't find any cash. So I was like, I'll bring him a copy of my book. But I
thank God.
So sorry about that. So that was nice. So I got it back. That was cool. And but I flew Spirit to get here. Right.
Oh, please tell the people. And
this is just to myself. Never fucking do that again. Okay. Yeah. I was trying to save money. It looks really cheap. Okay. So I bought a flight out of LAX, and I'm like, well, okay, I'll just drive. I can park at LAX. It'll be a little extra money, because the flight from Burbank to Chicago was in the 700s or something. It's on Southwest. So I was like, I can't, that's unsustainable. Can't happen. Right. Spirit, it's a lot cheaper.
$150 round trip. I bet they said
something like that.
Yeah.
Well, $44 each for the check baggage. So that's $88. And so as I'm getting ready, and I was trying to, I forget what I was trying to do, but somehow I was on the Spirit website, and it said, have you bought your checked bag yet? And I was like, I have to pay for a check bag. I thought I did that already. So, but and they're like, if you don't do it now, it's going to cost more at the airport. So I paid $57 to bring a bag on the
The carry-on, not a checked bag. You did the
Sorry,
checked
a
bag.
carry-on, a carry-on. Yeah,
So there
the
you go.
check's 44, the carry-on 57. So, but I thought that I had already bought a carry-on when I bought the ticket. So then I'm somehow in the website and it says that I paid for the carry-on already. So this $57 was an extra thing.
Oh, good.
So I'm trying to get that refunded. No, you can't. We can't refund it. It'll be used for a future Spirit flight. I'm like,
Not
yeah,
ever.
that's real fucking bold.
Yeah,
So then I get to the airport. And they go, oh, you haven't paid for a carry-on. It looks like you did pay, but then you refunded it. And I said, no, I paid for it a long time ago. And I have no way to prove it. It's back and forth. And so she was going to charge me another 72 for the carry-on. And I was like,
at the airport, it's 72 for a carry-on?
yeah. So I'm like, can you at least take the 57 I just paid 2 hours ago and had refunded? And that takes 20 minutes of no's, and then she does it. But then she charged me $22 more. So whatever it was, 70, 79, something like that, whatever. I'm enraged.
Yeah. Now you're at $400 for this flight.
I'm enraged. And then I didn't drive down. I took a Lyft because my car, I took it to the mechanic. He said it's fine, but there were a couple of times it wasn't starting. And I wasn't sure if it was because of the heat. And I was like, I don't want to take a chance. I don't know what's happening. So I'll Lyft. So now now we're getting close to the Southwest price if I'd have bought it out of Burbank, which is so easy. And then my return on Sunday tomorrow on Spirit wasn't till 9 p.m. Gets me home at 1 a.m. And I'm like, why did I do this to myself? My kid starts high school again the next day. I need to be home earlier. What am I thinking?
Right.
So,
well, because we're always thinking we're saving money.
Yes.
And we're not. We're not saving.
No.
It's costing us in time, and it's costing us, and it doesn't save money in the end.
No, and plus we have to remember at some point, maybe because we've been doing comedy long enough where we have entitlement, but it's like, I'm too old for this shit. All right. I'm not getting home. I'm not flying into LAX at 1 a.m. and then trying to get a lift home and then getting up at 6 to get my kid. No, I'm not doing that. Why did I think I was doing that?
Yeah.
Maybe I bought the ticket.
Why did I think I was doing that?
I forgot that forgot that high school started the next day. Like his school starts on the 15th. Okay. Wow. On Monday.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck it. And then I tried to change the Spirit flight to like an earlier one. The fees for that off the fucking charts, Jackie. So I was like, fuck you. I went to Southwest. I bought a full fare,
one-way
day before to Burbank, and I mean,
and you're done.
What a waste of money! What a waste of money! Ugh.
Yeah.
If I had just the easy way, that's a little bit more, I would have spent less.
Yep. It's the thing though, is you have to go through all these rigmarole to go, no, I actually have to treat myself like decent.
Yeah, never again. Never.
Hard agree.
I will, when I cancel the Spirit flight, I guess, because I paid for a seat, I paid extra for a seat, I paid extra for carry-on, I paid extra for check bag. So I've got maybe 150 in extras or something that maybe, because JetBlue just bought Spirit, maybe they'll absorb it, and maybe that can be applied to a JetBlue flight one day. I will never fly Spirit again, so those credits will go unused. I refuse.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
And if I mull it over, I need someone to remind me that I said this.
I will totally do that. And I have to tell you, David Rodriguez was saying, I can fly Spirit because I just carry a backpack and I do check out carry on backpack. and that is all I do. So it does end up costing him $100 to fly somewhere. But it would have been cheaper for you just to fly in the clothes on your back and bought new clothes. And you know,
Yeah, I should.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm staying on the loop.
yep.
I'm right near a million stores. I could have bought a couple of dresses, a
Hmm.
couple of nice Ann Taylor loft
Sure.
blouses that I like so much for the
Yep.
fucking extra I just pay for this stupid spirit shit. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah. Grim. I hard agree. Hard agree that it's just some gigs are, but the den is so nice though, right? That room,
It's nice. It's very nice.
a very nice room.
Very nice room. The hotel's very nice. I got in the day ahead. So that was cool. Had all day today. I did I went to the paper machete at the Green Mill and did a
Mhm.
little set there. It was a secret set because I
Oh, right,
wasn't,
right.
that it was just, I was trying, I did a little set and I said, hey, Skylar, he was also on this. I said, are on the den tonight. Come on out if you can. I have no idea if anyone did that. But I don't know. What are you going to do?
I did all my new stuff over the last 4 shows and a bunch of other new stuff that I just wrote on the fly, and, pretty happy, pretty happy. The first show tonight was the best show,
Uh-huh.
but all 4 shows were good shows, and, pretty yeah, pretty psyched about how it went down. And then but I'm only gonna be home for 2 days, and then I go to the Punchline in San Francisco on Wednesday.
I am so tired of being gone every weekend. I have I have
Right.
2 more weekends after this.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah,
Where are you
and the
next week?
laughs. I'm excited. I love laughs,
No, no,
and I
yeah,
love
it's not
Seattle.
the right, it's not the town or the club. Those are all great. I just wish I could teleport and do the sets and come home at night. Like, Barry
Yeah,
Manilow in Vegas. The
yeah. I just want to. Oh, does he do that?
Yeah,
Does he fly? Where's he fly back to?
Palm Springs, I think.
What a life! Oh, that guy did it right.
Yeah, but the carbon footprint. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
That's not good. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, Laughs is great, and I'm excited. And I love Seattle. And then the
Mhm.
following weekend, I'm doing a benefit in Benicia, or excuse me, in San Rafael in the Bay Area. So I'm flying up for that. But every weekend I've been gone, and so the only times I'm home are Monday through Friday, and I have to wake up and get my kid to water polo practice in the morning. I'm just like, I just want to sleep in, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I yeah, I'm yeah, I was just thinking, oh, I know what happened. Today I got a text. Was it today or yesterday? I got a text. Patrick King, who owns the Alameda Club.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ford.
Um,
Patrick Ford.
is it Ford?
Yeah,
Who's
it's not Kim.
Patrick King?
I don't
I
know.
might have it wrong. I thought it was Patrick. I thought his last name. Yeah, I'm wrong. I don't know who Patrick King is then, but whoever he is, he gave my phone number. And I'm like, well, I don't even know how you got my phone number. That I thought it was Patrick Ford, but it wasn't. But this guy gave my phone number to some woman down towards San Diego to do a gig 2.5 hours from my house. And she texted me out of the blue and said, I got your number from this guy. We're gonna start doing stand-up comedy on a Tuesday. Could you do a Tuesday down almost to San Diego? Um, it's the first ever time we're doing and she said something like, not the comedy. Like she put it weird. And I
Is
was
it
like,
Kimball's? Is it Kimball's and Bits?
maybe.
It's
What
probably
what town is it in?
San Diego. She does Mission Bay resorts and stuff like that.
No, no, I'm doing Mission Bay Resorts in a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
Right. This was something else, and it was
Uh,
a Tuesday, September 13th, and I was like, can you email me stuff? Because I need to. I'm never going to write it down. I'm not going to show up. Whenever I get booked on via text, sometimes it makes it and I show up, but I really need a reminder
Yeah.
via regular email. Otherwise, I'm just gonna miss out.
Right.
Um, so that was a weird thing.
We're both
And
so tired. I don't know what you're saying, and I don't think you do either.
I'm just saying I got comedy info. I got comedy
Okay.
info. I
Okay.
I wrote I wrote a bunch of new material this weekend and that was great. And and we're only at 27 minutes. So
um, I have one new tag. That's it. I have some ideas, but I didn't want to try them at the den. Um, yeah, I
yeah,
want to try at
I
a
would
what if it felt like too nice of a gig to
right.
potentially lose the audience, you know?
Yeah,
Um, but
it's a
yeah.
nice gig. I do want to go back there. And as soon as my Chicago thing is resolved, I'll talk to Chicago again. But
Oh, right.
not yet. But the I will say I probably have 15 15 minutes that is like real material. And
Hmm.
I have like 30 minutes where I think I'm going to drop something from the big, you know, that gun bit that I've been working on for 2 years, year and a half.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
there's a big story in the middle of it that I'm like, I don't think I need that. It was holding some shit together, and um, and it doesn't need to be there anymore. So I think I can get rid of it. It kind of reminds me of the Sky Club story
Uh-huh.
and the old man at the grocery store story with
Yeah.
Captain America. So looking forward to I'm looking forward to being home for a day and a half, I guess. And my albums are back up on Spotify, but
Even if
not
mine
800.
are, who cares? They don't, no one, it doesn't make any, I don't make any money off of Spotify. I only make any money off of Sirius. I don't know why people are excited to have their shit back on
Well,
Spotify.
Staycation isn't back up on Spotify.
I didn't make any money off, of course, it on from Sirius. They didn't play it at all last month. I'm like, why
No.
am I live then? Why am I making album? Why am I doing anything? Why? Why is anything anything? Why am I
Well,
not selling out venues?
right. Well, I will
Why?
say this
Oh,
is there's all these talk of these guys selling out venues and all this stuff, and I was reminded that most of them were Joe Rogan boys,
that guy. I
and
mean, yeah,
they're not as bad as like they're like Tom Segura's a nice guy,
I like Tom.
but he blew up because of Rogan. Same with Bert Kreischer,
Yeah,
and they were Rogan boys, and all those
yeah. I
butthurt
mean,
comedy fans are filling stadiums and arenas and losing
crazy.
them. Yeah.
It's so much money, and Whitney Cummings too. She's on Rogan a lot, you know.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Are there
So
any other women on Rogan, or is it just
I
Whitney?
don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't really
Okay.
track,
Yeah, me neither.
but it just uh is there no other way to get? Is there no other way? I don't understand. What? Like, there's no
There
other
is
path to
no
that? Or I
Kathleen
don't even
Madigan fills
10%
theaters.
of that. But Kathleen has been famous for a long time. Like she got some of those benchmarks really early in her career and just kept going. She's very hard worker and very consistent.
But
That's
she was also a really good business person right from the beginning. She didn't need Rogan, right? She
well,
did
there
other
wasn't
things.
Rogan,
Right,
right?
there wasn't Rogan. So
No,
but
I'm saying,
there are other paths, is what I'm saying.
well, no. I mean, yes, there are, but her path because she built her base a long time ago. I'm saying if you and I are trying to create some like a 10% of what a Tom Segura has, we can't go back in time and start being Kathleen Madigan. We have to start with what it is now. And it just,
Right.
you're right. It just feels like, well, if you don't do Rogan and you don't sit there and nod, well, you know, I mean, while he's saying crazy shit, I don't know. There's right now,
Right.
I don't feel like there's another way to really fill rooms at this point. I don't know.
There's ways, and I mean, and we're both doing just fine. I mean,
For stand-ups,
yeah,
we're doing okay. I'm saying I'm not saying like TikTok, whatever, people are doing that, that's a different thing, but I'm just saying for like regular stand-ups, you know, like we're gonna go out and give you a good show full of good jokes.
right.
Yeah.
But like, if you look at the guys, pardon my yawning. If you look at the guys who work the improvs, right? They don't fill those rooms, but they would steady work, right? I mean, there's 13 weeks a year doing heliums and improvs and funny bones, and they don't, you know, as funny
Yeah,
as
emphasis on guys.
they are guys, and they are good comics, but
Mm-hmm.
they aren't either. They're not Joe Rogan puppet dudes who blew up because of that, and they aren't like edgelord dum-dums, right? Ian Bagg is just a really good comic. He's
Mm-hmm.
just, people go to the show and they're like, oh, I got to see a really fun show. And Ian Bagg works all of those clubs, right? And you know, and so does Chad Daniels and Pete Lee, and you know, and they're not
Mm-hmm.
edgelordy douches,
Mm-hmm.
and even like even Tom and Bert aren't edgelordy douches at all.
No,
But they're
not at all.
no,
No. I
but
mean,
they did
they
blow up
found
because
like
of those numbers.
they did, but they also it seems like they were themselves, and it just sort of you know, that happened to
Yeah.
work that market. Like I don't feel like they're, you know,
Yeah, no
running
one
around.
is looking for us to just be ourselves.
Oh,
Hey, we got to do comic of the week.
yay.
And it is one of the women, one of the comics who worked with me this weekend.
Cool.
And
Cool, cool, cool.
her name's Gabby, and she's really, really funny, and she's very sweet, smart. And her name is Gabby Guiterrez-Reed, hyphenated. Gabby Guiterrez-Reed. And you're like, what? And she's on Instagram, and her Instagram is all right, I had it. Pardon my lack of complete organization, but I've got it. I know I do. Oh yeah, here it is. It's Gabby Guiterrez-Reed as the comic of the week, and it's Shish Q Abab on Instagram. It made me laugh, like shish kebab, but it's SHISHQABAB. That made me laugh. Anyway, not you, but me. And just because I have a history with shish kebab that I'm so proud of. What?
Yes, I like it. But I'm happy.
Right.
I'm too tired. I'm too tired for the letter Q. For some reason, it's so much work for me to think of a Q right now.
Okay. I'm writing.
I'm
that down.
across from the Chicago Institute of Art.
Yeah.
And since my flight, I don't have to leave the hotel till like 1 tomorrow.
Oh, that's
And so maybe I'll go see some art for a little bit or just walk around.
There's a botanical garden right by me.
Oh, nice.
In Fort Collins. That
I
I was encouraged
love
to
to
visit today.
I wish I could live 10 lives and one of them would be in Chicago and I would never leave here. I would just be born and raised here and hang out and be like a little local comedy icon. That sounds fun.
Like Rocky Laporte.
Is this he live in Chicago or is he like more the Midwest?
He moved back to Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Because
Cool.
he was in LA for 15 years probably, or whatever. And oh, that's not it. Anyway.
Many of the posts suggested to me on Instagram are yoga based. A lot of headstands. Like learn how to do a headstand. And I like watching them, but I reject a headstand. But I've also been inundated with the splits. Learn to do the splits.
Oh God.
Now, I think I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna go for it.
Are you gonna go for the splits?
Yeah, I mean, slowly. I'm just like kicking my legs out and just laying flat, one leg at a time. So half a
Right.
split. And then one day it'll be both legs out.
All
And
right.
and then I won't be able to perform anymore because I'll be
You will have cracked yourself in half. Um, I,
I'm watching a show you would love.
what?
It's first of all, it's British middle-aged ladies.
Yes.
They're fucking amazing.
You color me interested. Yes.
It's called The Split. It's on HB. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
And, it's about a mother-centered law firm, and
Okay.
she and two daughters work for her, and then it just splinters out into their families, and it's so fucking good. It's
Okay.
it's about marriage and uh motherhood and cheating and staying with people or not staying with them. It's because they're divorce lawyers,
Okay.
so their clients have a lot of things going on and their
Is
own
is each
marriage.
episode like a monster of the week? Do they have a new client every episode?
No, the stories carry. It's not like a formula. It's not
Okay.
it's not
So it's more
a,
soap opera kind of.
yeah,
Yeah.
serialized. It's great. I recommend it. I'm on season 2 and there's 3 seasons. So if you like it, download a bunch and they're each an hour. You're good to go on a plane ride for a while.
We're watching two shows, Sandman and Paper Girls,
Oh,
and they're both on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Sandman's on Netflix.
Yeah, so's Paper Girls, I think. And
Mm.
Paper Girls are about essentially some paper girls from the 1980s who get
Yeah,
sucked into a time loop
yeah.
with their current they're in some sort of time, there's some sort of time civil war. But it was actually a really good comic book. I really liked it. And Sandman, I really liked the comic book. The TV show,
Uh-huh.
you realize if you as you binge watch it that Neil Gaiman uh really is interested in a lot of people having sex, being forced to have sex. And
Oh,
then remember in the 90s when there were all these shows on TV and you could picture the writer's room where it'd be like a bunch of sort of dudes in their 40s going, let's see if we can make those two actresses make out.
oh yeah.
That's
Right.
that's that's the vibe it kind of has, Sandman does. And the comic book never had that vibe.
Oh,
And but I'm not saying it wasn't there. I just don't remember it.
did he write the comic book too?
Yeah, Neil Gaiman, yeah. And so and
Mhm.
he's all over the TV show. He's very powerful. And so I like it, but I'm also kind of it's jarring when, like they make the homosexuals into the bad guys and there's all these
Hmm.
weird, kind of it's so it has a bit of a 90s feel to it. And
Yeah.
then, but I will say this, the best thing in it is Patton Oswalt as the bird. Oh,
Yay, he plays Matthew the Raven, right?
yep. And last week, I should make this correction. Last week, I thought that Patton Oswalt was working on new stuff and opened for Chad Daniels, and it was Sean Patton.
I saw that afterwards. I'm like, what?
I know. I totally got it in my head.
Yeah.
And because I mean, how great would a show be that had both Patton and Chad Daniels on it? But I'll tell you what is also a great show.
Yeah.
Sean Patton and Chad Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also an amazing show.
Oh, very great
So,
show. Oh, I'm dying. I can't tell how much time we've done. When
uh,
did we start?
we've done 41 minutes according to this thing because we
Oh my
started almost
God.
immediately after I hit record.
Oh my
I hit
God.
record almost immediately, so we have approximately 20 minutes left.
All right.
So I want to do Seattle again. And
Yeah.
I don't know if those guys will have me back at Laughs because the crocodile thing kept being booked, pushed, booked, pushed, booked. And Angela actually was like, "Are you gonna come work here?" And I said, "Yes, yes, but my agent's doing this thing with this other thing, and they were gonna, and it was gonna be, it was supposed to happen 2 years ago, and the pandemic, because I really do. I like Angela.
Yeah, I do too. I like
Yeah,
Laughs.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like the hotel.
yeah. I like
Uh,
the hotel, and
mhm.
I like Jelly Dog, but I really like Angela.
Mhm.
So, um, and then what else is happening? Oh, we got I took my mother-in-law to the doctor, and her
Yeah.
insurance is so much better. There were orchids in the waiting room.
Is she
Why
on Medicare?
orchids?
No,
She
she
has
has some
both
good stuff.
Medicare and Blue Anthem, or Blue Cross Blue Anthem.
Anthem Blue Cross. That's the
Yeah,
one that's Writers Guild is sort of, I think it's, I don't know.
but she's got a good enough PPO that she can go to UCLA.
Oh God,
And
so
so
good.
UCLA is so beautiful. Every single one of the doctors that she's gone to has not seemed rushed. I can't express to you when I go to Kaiser. Every single doctor I see feels swamped.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Yeah. And I sprained my finger.
How?
Boo! Moving boxes. Is it, yeah, it's they're both kind of acting up, but whatever. But the in the garage, I was trying to figure out where stuff was. It's hilarious. Chris, every couple of days will be like, I used to have a brush that did this thing. I used to have a stick that I could poke at this thing, and I used to have a
God.
knife that would do. And I I look at her and I go, could still have it. Might be in a box in the garage. Or I will buy you a new one, I promise. And I don't know.
Mhm.
But it's yeah, it's coming along. And what else happened? We played Rummy Cube in the backyard, bunch of
Rummy
college.
Cup.
It's spelled Rummy Cub, but it's called Rummy Cube, according to
We're
Sheila
gonna have
Ratner.
Rummy Cup at our house.
Well, you call it whatever you need to call it.
Alrighty.
I want to have you and your young man over to play Jaws, because I think
To
he would
play
like
job.
Jaws.
Okay.
One person is Jaws, and three people are the guys in the boat from the movie.
Oh, is
And
it a
it's
video?
board game.
Oh, okay. Fun.
It's genuinely hilarious, and the movie itself, it captures the tension of the movie better than any board game I've ever played.
Wild.
Um, one of Andy's friends has a Jurassic Park um, board game made by the same people, and it's
Mhm.
almost as good. The Jaws one is better, I think.
My son and I went to my friend Cheryl's. She's back. She's out of town for a while.
Yeah.
We watched the entire part 2 of season 4 of Attack on Titan to catch her up.
Oh my God.
So good. But you
So,
never got into it.
no, it was too dark for me.
Jackie, it's just the right amount of dark. You gotta let it seep in there.
Yeah, I've
We're-
been reading too much news in the last 3 days.
oh, we're talking about that Vice, the trailer for the
Oh
Vice
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
comedy, the dark side of comedy or
Oh my
whatever. Oh
God.
my God. It's this only seen the trailer,
Only
okay?
seen the trailer. Yes.
But it felt like one of those, we're gonna talk to comics who knew Sam Kinison about
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
And it's all,
Prostitution.
yes, it's the story the journalists, the industry, whatever, anyone who's looking at stand-up comedy, they love this story about male addiction and how they overcame it. I mean, even if they're
Or how
talking
it
about,
killed them.
right, yeah, they
Yeah.
love that too. Other buddies talking about their buddies that died, and like in war. Oh, you mean at the at the comedy store? Okay. You weren't
Right,
in
right.
Iraq, okay?
Oh, Chris.
But I mean, you you had your days as one of the world's great functional alcoholics. Why not interview you? You're a major success story. Okay. How
Oh,
come I
right.
didn't see your face in the dark side of comedy? You did some dark shit in your fun days.
Sure did. Sure did.
Where's your face?
Where's my 12 seconds of fame on Vice TV, the dark side of comedy? But it literally, I was like, I don't want to hear about the gross things that the good comics gone bad, essentially. You're just like, I don't want to
Yeah.
hear about Geraldo cheating on his wife and blowing all of his money in Vegas. That weekend he got his first big deal. He told me that when I featured for him at Knuckleheads. He was like, I spent $75,000 in a weekend in Vegas.
What?
Yeah, he said his wife
Oh
just kept leaving him
no.
messages going, if you don't call me back, I'm taking the kids. You're never gonna see him again.
He had the kids at that
No,
point.
no, yeah, he was a father,
No.
but
Oh
yeah,
my God. Oh
yeah.
no. Oh
And he said, I just kept
no.
spending the money. It was cocaine and it was
Oh.
gambling and it was women and it was just Vegas just will bleed you dry. And you're
Oh
like,
God.
and when Greg told me that story, I was like, this is the saddest story I've ever heard in my life. And it
Oh
isn't. And it isn't even the saddest story I've heard in my life.
no.
So,
Bummer.
but
But the other thing is like there's so many other stories to tell in stand-up comedy besides, the rock and roll sex, drugs, and rock and roll comedy stereotype they've created.
Mhm.
There's a lot of other stories. There's a lot of people that didn't do any of that shit.
Right.
That's interesting too. I mean, why aren't it seems like the people that do these kind of deep dives, documentaries, stories, articles, they're only interested in that one kind of darkness.
Right. Right.
And
How
there's
about they interview, and if they're looking for a white guy, why don't they interview Tom Papa and how he didn't go super dark? He just continued to be funny. And
just a hurt. Yeah, I mean, there's something there too. It's just the it's moths to a flame, I guess. But I'm
yeah.
just like tired of hey, we're comics too, but none of our experiences were dark enough for you people. Really?
Right.
I fucking sat and typed jokes about my dad dying of cancer. That's not dark enough for you. I sat while my mom was dying of COVID and typed jokes. That's not dark enough for you. No.
Right.
Did you ever snort coke? I didn't. Sorry, you're too dull for us.
Right. It's not that kind of darkness, which is why when we were talking about it on Twitter, I was like, no Jenna, no Jennifer, because her set on Conan was
Exactly.
one of the bravest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yes,
Like, yes.
yes, it was. It
And
was. And yeah, she's fearless and
mhm,
dark and where's
Samantha
her face
Bee.
on?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she's not a stand-up.
She's not a stand-up, but I get it. And yes.
Very talented lady. I'm very anti not a stand-up. So not anyone's fault.
Write down the words anti not a stand-up.
Okay.
I don't have a pen. I moved to the bed.
Why don't we make
So
Kyle listen to this podcast and come up with the tags? Wouldn't it be nice if he ever listened to the podcast?
well, and then um yeah, there's that show, and then just been asked about so many people wanting to tell me about stand-up comedy, and I'm like, I can't really talk about it, the theory of it right now. I don't care about everyone's opinion about stand-up comedy right now.
There's somebody that's driving us in the chat crazy who is, you know what? She's getting an incredible amount of engagement, and that's all that matters. So whether we're all hate quote tweeting whatever thing she put
Oh,
out,
the topic, not somebody on
yes,
the list. Yeah,
no,
it's
no,
true.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Does it?
matter. It's working. Like that works.
Yeah,
It does. Duh.
it's fine. It's fine. I don't.
It's all fine. Who cares? Who cares? It's all
Right.
fine.
Did you see that some guy got really he called me an old cunt.
I did. And you
That was
are
so.
a young punch, Jackie. I mean,
Nobody ever says that kind of weird stuff to me online. That I was
yeah.
like, what's happening? And he said that the only funny thing that ever happened was when I fell off the stage on Doug's podcast. And then Doug Stanhope piped up and he was like, I'm suing you for defamation. And it
Doug
was
Benson?
no, Doug Stanhope piped in, but it
I
was
know,
Doug
but I'm saying,
Benson's
was it Doug
podcast.
Benson? Oh, okay. All right.
It was Doug Benson's podcast. It was the podcast festival easily 7 years ago
Oh my
in
God.
LA. And they did film it. So it was, I mean, I'm flattered, of course, that he was watching my cunt when it was younger. And and so he was able to but it was filmed and it was this thing about uh the the podcast he did where he had dinner and it was those stages that are just a raised um platform and then they put the curtain behind it so you
Yeah.
don't know where it ends.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Like a
So the
hotel.
chairs, yeah, the chairs were too close. So I go behind Doug and I'm getting into the middle chair and my leg goes off the edge of the thing and I fall down
Yeah.
behind and then but I pop back up and got an applause break for not dying. And this guy was like, that's the funniest thing that I've ever done. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. And then he got all in my he was all mad.
Listen, you've had some controversial takes that are supportive of people, and I guess that angers a certain type of boomer man, and it happened again.
Right. And then it was weird because he has a man's name, but his avatar is like a cat or something.
I
And
blocked him. I saw this and blocked him immediately.
yeah, I should have just blocked him. I've been blocking people pretty regularly. I've read too much news in the last 3 days, and it's just made me vaguely uneasy and unhappy. So I just
Um,
got to pace myself a little bit better.
yeah, and so, so the I need to blow my nose, but how much longer
We're-
can if I
we're-
keep sniffing in? I think we're good,
we
right?
got 6 minutes.
I don't need to blow my
And
nose. Oh,
all right,
hold-
let me look. You can why don't you could mute yourself, blow your nose,
I have to go
and
get. I
oh,
have to
you have to get a
move to
thing.
get Kleenex. I don't feel like moving.
Andy's going to bed. He is texted me to say, I'm so sleepy. Call me in the yam. And good for him. It's a real clock eater. But somebody asked me to do a bunch of podcasts. So you're going to Laughs on the weekend of the 20th. And then where are you
Yeah,
going the weekend of the 27th?
San Rafael.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
doing a church. Mike with Michael Pritchard. I've never worked with Michael Pritchard. Do you know who he
Okay.
is?
I've heard of him.
He
I'm
San
sure I do.
Francisco comic. Really funny. Great. He did great voices, some character stuff. And he opened for the Pope at Candlestick Park. Okay, hold on. I have
What?
to look
The
those.
Pope?
Yeah.
Okay. So she has not muted herself, so we may get to hear her blowing her nose. I I'm gonna be home for like 3 weeks. Yeah. So when I come back from San Francisco, I don't go anywhere until Portland.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be home.
Yeah, so Pritchard opened for the Pope at Candlestick Park. He's super clean. I was like, "You sure you want me on the show?" But and I'm working with Dwayne Perkins, who I haven't seen in a while.
I
Love him.
love Dwayne
Yes,
Perkins.
yes.
Always a
So yeah,
delight.
and then I don't know. We get hopefully. Oh, somebody at the show tonight gave me $10 because she'd listened to my album without buying it.
That's awesome. Someone
Keep
bought
it coming.
all of
Keep it coming. What?
someone bought all 6 of my albums and DVDs that I bought tonight. I was like, it's $120. And she goes, that's fine. 'Cause,
Fuck.
yeah, all 6, I brought both of my DVDs and then 4 of my albums because Circus People still being spun. And I'm like, that's the one where I'm least the best because it is the oldest of the albums. And
Wow.
but and then August 25th, Tom Papa said he might be able to do that gig too. I may have to I don't know.
What?
Am I gonna get
Oh,
to do any time?
oh, you want to kick me off your friend's
I might
gig?
kick you off my friend's gig, but but I probably not because I would love for you to do the show. I think it'll be an epic show if it's you and Helen and Kira and Maria and me, and then Suli McCullough and Kyle and maybe Tom Papa. But I
Good
think,
Lord.
but that's a lot
That's
of
a lot.
comics.
Everyone's doing 8 or something like that.
I was gonna have people
I
do
mean,
12s.
you could couldn't you do two of them, 2 shows, and then have different comics on? Could you do,
I
I
could
don't know,
do
it seems
Helen,
like,
we could just go for 3 hours. Everyone does 20 minutes and audience could file out and file back in at their
oh
leisure.
my God, that's like a
Oh,
Chappelle
yeah.
show.
That's what I said. I just said that.
Oh, I missed it.
Mm,
I'm sorry.
right. No worries. Um,
We're so close to the end, right?
oh,
Also, my
right.
contacts are,
Yeah,
oh,
2
I thought
minutes.
you were about to turn off the computer. I was so excited. I don't even need to finish this sentence.
Oh, you would be so disappointed if I somehow lost the recording of this. That would be like, guess what? No show, you guys. We're just
It would be, it would be no show.
it
And
would,
but the thing is, we wouldn't get the pleasure of not doing a show. We wouldn't have the so it would be, I would be even angrier.
it would be the worst of both worlds.
It would be the Spirit Airlines of podcasting.
I have to say, I don't remember when you booked this, but there's
Never.
no way that I told you that you should have done this.
No, I
But
did it. I went rogue. I consulted with myself only, and I gave myself terrible advice, and I'm firing myself from all my travel agency duties.
I like it. It is true. Sometimes you just go rogue and you're just like, I think this will work. And I've been so wrong so many times.
I look at it like a lot of people are like, all right, I get COVID. How bad can it be? And then they find out and it's awful. So I'm like,
Mhm.
this is me with that attitude, but with Spirit Airlines. And maybe that'll keep me on the straight and narrow with COVID, being vigilant. Because I'm telling you, I'm fucking sick of being vigilant. I'm tired of bringing all this shit with me. I'm tired of it. It's a lot of
Yeah.
extra shit to bring.
It's so
And
much stuff
remember,
that you're bringing. I'm looking forward to, I believe, 19 seconds from now when I think we're going to be done. And don't forget to come and see me in San Francisco this week and in LA, August 25th, when I host me and a bunch of my friends.
yeah, and come to Laughs in Seattle this week if you're anywhere near Seattle.
That's it.
Bye.